Hello everybody, welcome to today's first reading lesson of the week. We are going to be looking at another extract from Matilda. So I'm just going to share my screen with you now. So today we are going to be looking at the new text and looking at new unfamiliar words and finding out the different meanings. Okay, tomorrow we'll be looking at the same text and answering some retrieval questions, and on Thursday we're going to be using the same text again and answering some inference questions. So as always, we're going to be looking at a picture which has got some text as well first to get our brains working. So I'll just read this to you first. If a person has ugly thoughts, it begins to show on the face. And when that person has ugly thoughts, every day, every week, every year, the face gets uglier and uglier until you can hardly bear to look at it. Roald Dahl, The Twits. So first of all, we've got a retrieval question. What book is this quote from? Who wrote it? That's right, it's from the book The Twits, which is by Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl also wrote the story Matilda, which we have been looking at as well. The next question is our interpret inference skill. What do you think would happen if you had nice thoughts? Well, if the face gets uglier and uglier, if you have ugly thoughts, if you have nice thoughts, then you're going to be getting prettier, I think. You would get prettier. And last question is, what is the author trying to persuade you about? That's right, I think he is trying to persuade you to say nice things, because otherwise you'll turn out to be not a very nice person and no one will want to be your friend. So it's trying to make sure that we are nice and kind to everybody that we know. Okay, here is our new text. It is again from Matilda, which is by Roald Dahl. So when I read this to you, I'd like you to think about the different words that you're not quite sure about. You can pause the video at any time and write down the words in your book that are unfamiliar to you. Okay. Matilda was put in the bottom class, where there were 18 other small boys and girls about the same age as her. Their teacher was called Miss Honey, and she could not have been more than 23 or 24. She had a lovely pale oval face with blue eyes, and her hair was light brown. Her body was so slim and fragile, one got the feeling that if she fell over, she would smash into 1,000 pieces like a porcelain figure. Miss Honey was a mild and quiet person who never raised her voice and was seldom seen to smile. But there is no doubt she possessed that rare gift for being loved by every small child under her care. She seemed to totally understand the bewilderment and fear that so often overwhelms young children who, for the first time in their lives, are herded into a classroom and told to obey orders. Miss Trunchbull, the headmistress, a fierce monster who frightened the life out of pupils and teachers. When she marched along a corridor, you could actually hear her snorting as she went, and if a group of children happened to be in her path, she ploughed right through them like a tank, with small people bouncing off to her left to right. Thank goodness we don't meet any people like her in this world. So pause the video and write down any unfamiliar words in this text. Okay, so I have highlighted some words that you might have written down as well. So I have written down, I've highlighted fragile, porcelain figure, mild, seldom, doubt, possessed, bewilderment, overwhelms, herded, and ploughed. So I want you to, if you haven't done so already, use a dictionary, or you can use the internet with the link provided to find out the meanings of the word. There might be my words that you've highlighted, or that you might have some different words that you've written down. So see if you can pause the video and write down the different meanings of those words. Okay, so let's have a look at what these words mean. So the first word we've got is fragile. Fragile means that it's easily broken or damaged and it's not strong. Porcelain figure is a figure of a person made out of china. So it could be a china doll or a china person. Porcelain is a type of material that's used to make a person or a doll. Mild. If you are mild, it means you're very gentle. Seldom means not very often. So if you seldom do something, you don't do it very often. Doubt. Doubt means uncertain. If you've got doubt, it means you're very uncertain about it. Possessed. Possessed means to have or to own something. Bewilderment. Bewilderment is a feeling of being confused and not really sure what's going on. Overwhelms. If you're overwhelmed, it means you're not able to cope with something. Herded. Herded means to move in a large group. So if you're being herded somewhere, it means you're being moved in a group, in a large group. Ploughed. Ploughed means crashed or smashed into things. So if you're ploughing through things, it means you're crashing or smashing into things. Okay, so your task is to write down 2 or 3 words that you have found from this text that you were unfamiliar with before. Okay, and I'd like you to write the word down and write it in a sentence. Or you can draw a picture for the word to represent its meaning. So I've chosen fragile. The glass broke because it was fragile. And I've got a picture here of a little boy with a broken glass. So choose 3 words, I think, and write them down, write them in a sentence, or you can draw a picture. Okay, good luck.